Hey everyone, welcome back to Pokemon Rejuvenation. So on the last bit, we went searching for Crawley in order to battle for our next badge, and instead we found a Team Zen hideout, and we had to take on Rin. And at the end of all of that, found ourselves back here on the mainland. Or main island, actually. Don't know if there's really a mainland. So, anyways, now that we have surfed, some things have changed and some new areas have opened up to us. And there's a few other things that we can do. So we're going to start off by heading all the way over to the Chrisolia Hotel. And here at the lovely, lovely Chrisolia Hotel, we want to go ahead and head on down to the basement. So there's a couple things we can do. Right here is a water stone that we can grab. Also talk to this person. I like her reaction. It's just great. Hey, what do you think you're doing? This is my tiny island. Oh, I bet you want this water stone I found at the bottom of the pool, huh? Fine, take it. I don't really care about it anymore. All I care about is being left alone, which you aren't respecting right now. Bye-bye, trainer. I just like that. It's great. I do wish you would have more dialogue if you continue to talk to her and she would get more annoyed. But anyways, over here is a dark spot in the water. And if we drop a gourmet treat here, we'll find a wild Totodile. So go ahead and do with that what you will. Catch it, kill it. I'm not actually sure if you can kill it. But after that, we're going to go ahead and head on over to the west side of Cavern City, because there's another starter that we can collect. Anyways, over here on the west side, we're just going to go over here to the Junction Bridge, break that rock right there, and make our way over here. Since we have the Dull Key now, which you would have found on the Zen Battleship, we can pop that open, and we can grab the Litten. So again, we'll have to play with it, or battle with it rather, and catch it. You're free to do with it as you will, but I'm going to catch it. And then from here on, we're going to go ahead and move on into the Goldenwood Forest. So here we are back in the Goldenwood Forest. We haven't been here for a long time. So there's plenty of hidden items that we can grab, like that ether. But we're mainly here for a few items, like this rare candy over here. If I can grab that. We also haven't dealt with the Gyarados here, but unfortunately it's a bit too late for that. We will be able to deal with the Gyarados a little bit later, but if we actually surf down here, and you look around where the Gyarados is supposed to be, where the Rift is supposed to be, it's not there. If you took care of this earlier, then that wouldn't have been a problem, but we didn't. And I think you can probably guess why. That's because C, who is obviously Crawley, is a little bit busy. Anyways, over here we can grab a Zygarde Cell. And for the most part, that's all we're going to do down there. Instead, if we move over here, there is a hidden wing over here. So those are EV boosting items. They're actually pretty good. If we come down here, we can find a secret shrine. The shrine holds a statue of Mesprit, which is the Bean of Emotion, if I recall correctly. But there's also the TM for Dig, and another Zygarde Cell down here. So far, so good. These are things that we couldn't have gotten if we came here earlier. Some other things that we could have gotten, however, would be the rare candy that's behind those rocks. And further down here is a nugget. So if we chose to come to the forest earlier, we could have gotten those items. Another item that we missed out on is right over here. Is a Zygarde Cell. We could have gotten that Zygarde Cell way earlier. I just chose to ignore it for the time being. Also, we can now come over here and grab that icy rock. Not really too big of a deal. It's there if you want it. There's actually a official guide for this, I believe on the Rejuvenation forums. I use that for background checking a lot of times. It's not 100% correct. However, if you were following that guide, which I tend to use it to double check on my Zygarde cells, because if you miss one, then it's kind of annoying to figure out where it is. So if you were following that guide, then you might have realized that we were a Zygarde cell behind until now. But anyways, down here there is a Yukata trainer, right there. She has 2 Medicham, an Oricorio, and a Hariyama. Oh ho ho, I see. That's what you got down here. Please don't call me at that. Anyways, over here is a hidden item, which is actually pretty notable. It's the Big Root. Big Root actually restores the amount of HP that you recover with HP stealing moves. So that's a pretty good item, actually. Down here is a Zygarde cell. Be very careful not to jump off that ledge right there. And over here is another child that we can send to the Lost Camp. So that makes 6 children now, but not quite enough to upgrade it yet. And with this, we've done all we can here in Goldenwood Forest once again, so I'm going to head back to Goldenleaf Town. So over here in Goldenleaf Town, you'll notice that Dragonite is here, and he's looking around. He's pretty worried. Or she, I'm not really sure. Dragonite seems to have recognized you. Like Dragonite is looking frantically for something. Dragonite seems to be pointing at its mailbag. It's like Dragonite lost some of its deliveries. Again. Of course. How could we say no to this? Dragonite is absolutely adorable and absolutely precious. So this time there's 4 letters and only 2 of them are actually here. And I hope you enjoy this because, well, we're going to be doing this a lot. So there's the 2 that are inside this town, but there's 2 more that we're going to head off this way for, unfortunately. So the first one is over here. And yeah, the Esper is still waiting. I'm a horrible person. And if we move all the way up here, the second one is to the right of the Wispy Tower. Oh boy. What is my darling little dove doing here? Little dove, oh how I love my little dove. Must be interested in the treasure here too, right? Well, the rumors about this place are true. So goddamn true, holy damn man. Just love exploring ruin. Fill me with so much happiness. Okay. I guess I'm going to head out for now. I still haven't found the place I yearn for. So we will talk again, right little dove? You'll never leave me, right little dove? Little dove? Little dove? Here, take this. It's been in my bag since last Tuesday and I just can't have it because Mama said not to. Fare thee well, little dove. And with that, we can finally collect the last piece of mail. So let's get out of here and get back to Dragonite. So back here in Goldenleaf, talk to Dragonite and give him back his mail. This time we will get Brutal Swing. And it will fly off. There's just something about Dragonite. You know, it's really goofy, it's not as majestic as its pre-evolutions, but it's still pretty cute. Anyways, we're also going to come over here. And since we have 5 badges, we can open the 5 badge door here in the Wispy Ruins. And open this chest. Fallen and deserted, I relay the messages of our suffering to you. On those who dare to tread upon Griselda's kingdom, Death was the only outcome. And soldiers from afar stepped foot. The ultimate crime has already been committed. Prepared to tear down what she worked so hard to build, Zelda held nothing back. The ready Griselda dispatched her strongest troops. Victory was already hers. And for our troubles, we'll get the Cursed Candle. Unfortunately, we can't do anything with the Cursed Candle for a long time. So instead, we're going to head back down to Route 3, which is to the right, Goldenleaf Town. And we're now going to see what we can do over there. So here on Route 3, your first instinct is probably to go north, but instead we're going to go ahead and head down south. So this is a small area called River's End. And there's a lot of junk items over here. But there's also a few good junk items as well if we make our way over here. We can start with this one. So there's the HP up right there. Even if you don't want to use that, you could always sell it. There is a repel right here, so that's a junk item. But there is a really big item over here, which is a link heart. So that is a fantastic item. I would not pass that one up. There's also an ability capsule all the way down here. So I would definitely come here to at least get those. You could also grab the other items if you want. But I'm not going to bother. Most of the other items down here are pretty lackluster. And with that, we're going to start surfing north. Over here we'll find Matthew. Oh, that should be our 7th child for the Lost Camp. And if we continue to surf up here, eventually we will find Cybur, which is the 8th child for the Lost Camp. We can also grab the TM for Skydrop, but there's a little bit more that we have to do still. So there's an area over here where we can surf here inside the cave, and over here, see these lily pads. These belong to the Poliwag Troupe. And all of them are gathered here, form a band and sing a song. I'd gather them myself, but I can't be too far away from Sheridan. Would you like to give it a go? Cool, there are lily pads all around the region. Poliwag resting on top of them. When you see them, use this. They will react to this and know where to go afterwards. Thanks a bunch. We'll deal with gathering the Poliwag a little bit later, but for now we want to head all the way down here. And this person is really excited because guess what? It's Saturday night. But that's not really it. It's Pokemon that appear at the Moonfield are here. Yes, they are. And we're actually going to go inside her trailer and rob her. So we'll just grab that star piece. So if you come here on a Saturday night, there will be Clefairy here dancing. And they will give us a Moonstone. You can also interact with them and catch them if you really want to. Also a Zygarde Cell right here. And let's not forget that Dust Ball. But for the most part, this is everything there is to do here. But with that, how about we go around and round up those Poliwag? So over here on the Wispy path, we'll find the first Poliwag. And it looks like it's gone. It's a shame. So next we'll be heading off to the Spring of Purification. Here in the Spring of Purification is our next stop, and right here is the Poliwag. And our next stop for the next Poliwags is going to be Akua Town. But first we need to make a quick little detour. Back here on Route 3 during the day we can access the vendors, and we're gonna need about 10 sweethearts. So they cost pretty much nothing, but we're gonna need them before we head all the way back to town. So So here at Akua Town, most everybody's still kinda gone. It's empty. Pretty, but still kinda useless. Instead, we're going to head all the way over here. So here we can grab that red shard, but there's also this Zen Grunt. My darling, I have come to you again. Our love is sound and perfect. The thread of fate distances us. Aren't you thoughtful? Please, my love, run away with me. We were meant for each other. Give me, my love. I have not brought any gifts this time around. I see. You wish to receive a gift. In that case, I shall work hard to please you. You there, would you do me a favor? I don't want to leave my post, but my darling wishes to be pleased with gifts. Please supply me with some sweethearts. 10 sweethearts to be exact. I need them for my darling. Hurry. And we have exactly those. Anyways, since we have the sweethearts already... My lovely, I brought the 10 sweethearts. It's a symbol of my love for you. Love that's 10 times stronger than anyone else's. These are sweet, but... These are sweet, but... I love someone else. Love someone else. How could you betray me? These are sweet, but I love someone else. I love your coworker. It's just so dashing and wonderful. My coworker? Who would? You! You're the one my darling must be talking about. After I put my trust into you, this is what you do to me. I won't let you get away with this. You're in for a world of hurt. Everything I worked so hard for is null and void now. Everything. But I love my darling. You don't even care about her. What? And yeah, we didn't really win anything special here. Looks like there isn't any way out of this. Thankfully, we can just chuck a Pokeball at it and hopefully catch this and be done with this, but this is the Jynx event. And thankfully, with that out of the way, actually let's talk to him first. Turns out that my darling was... So it turns out that Jynx was just repeating lines from a romance film. Never talking to me. Didn't even understand what it was saying. And so humiliated. All I want to do is go home. So I will. Poor soul. Anyways, I'm going to ignore that lady over there. Come over here, grab that, because free stuff. And we want to make our way, actually, sort of down over here. Okay, so down here should be an HP up. And from here, I believe we actually need to move up and over. I get a little bit confused. This place is pretty big, pretty weird. There's an ether right there. But the main thing we're here for is Poliwag. So, that's the third Poliwag. But we're not done here. We move all the way down here, we can go ahead and grab another Zygarde Cell. But there's still so much we can do here. It's absolutely crazy. From here, we can go up to the Seabound Cave east, but one thing we can do, but we can grab that Max Repel, which is definitely going to come in handy as I spray repels like crazy. But for the most part, we're getting out of here. So we're going to move up this way and up north from here. So you might find a cave right here, and you'll get the prompt, a chill fills the air. So there's something special you can do inside here. I don't have the Pokemon necessary to right now, so I'll just explain it. You need a Pokemon with Blizzard, and something with a ground type move such as Magnitude, Earthquake, or Bulldoze. You need to get into a battle and use Blizzard to freeze the water over, then get into another battle and use Earthquake, and that will actually create Earthquake or the other ground moves, and that will actually create a path that will lead you to a Lapras. Blizzard is just such a hard move to get a hold of right now. It really is, so instead we're going to ignore that. Also, something of note is you'll see these Octillery wandering around on these islands over here. So feel free to grab one if you want. Octillery is kind of underrated and people tend to forget about it. Over here we have the Evergreen Forest. Do not disturb the Pokemon here. I know whoever reading this right now will disregard my word, so if you want to explore this area fully, you'll need Strength, Cut, Surf, and Rock Climb. Anna. I'm going in anyways. Oh dear, another trainer. This just won't do. What are you doing here? Can't you read the sign? I can read it. Read the sign? Prove it. What's that? I said that trainers would ignore what I said and continue into the forest anyway? Wow, I guess you really did read the sign. Anyway, that's why we're under the bridge. Where you go, please come to my house. Oh, fine. So in here we have a bed that we can heal up in, and we can also access the PC. That's nice. Also tucked in. Nana. Ah, youth that finally follows old Nana's rules. You are a rarity. Cherish yourself, child. What is your business on Evergreen Island? Here to catch rare Pokemon? Yeah, always seems to be the case for you novice trainers. They all gather here to get rare Pokemon they can't find anywhere else. Most of them never make it this far though. The cold becomes too much. Since you were able to make it this far, I'll let you in on a little secret. Deep within Evergreen Forest lies a secret and sacred spring. Legends say that it was once owned by a woman who could control ice with ease. After the calamity, it disappeared, never to be seen or heard from again. Spring is the last memento of her. Though I doubt a youngin' like you would be too interested in stuff like that, Fine, then I'll tell you something that may interest you even more. Spring itself would be useless to you by itself, but extremely rare Pokemon dwell there. Usually you'll find their young ones out in the open. However, they say that their leader, the Emperor, does itself to extremely powerful trainers. Ah, I see that twinkle in your eye. Must mean you're intrigued. In that case, let's take this. The door to the spring will not open to anyone, only those who are connected to the original owner. This item I gave you will allow you to enter the spring at any time. Happen to capture the Emperor, I'll give you something nice. But if the Emperor does not appear to you, do not fret. Become stronger and come back later. I'm sure it will reveal itself to you once you return with proof of strength. Anyways, with that, it's time to go ahead and move on. So moving on from this point, we want to make sure we have a Pokemon that has the move Flame Burst, and I don't remember, that's trainer. Alright, what is it? Not interested. There's also a hard scale over here, might want to grab that. But inside this cave, you want a Pokemon that knows Flame Burst, and I'm not sure what the other two moves are. There should be about 3 moves that can melt the ice. So the Growlithe that you would get from the event actually knows Flame Burst immediately. And it's level 30, so it should be able to take a hit to use the move. So we're gonna go ahead, get into a battle. And hit this with Flame Burst. And melt the ice. And that will actually melt the ice out here as well, which means course. As I was saying, that means we can continue on and come out here to grab this Zygarde Cell. Anyways, with that Zygarde Cell, we're pretty much done here. Come back in here, we would... Of course. Get out of here. But if we come back here, we do have the option to go down here. However, there are a ton of trainers. There's some pretty neat items down here. They're mostly hidden. So you can grab those if you want, but those trainers are pretty tough, and if you have a Pokemon on you that knows Flame Burst but isn't properly leveled up, that can be a problem. Over here is a salesperson, or a salesman, sailor. And for the low, very high price of 2,500 Pokédollars, he'll take you back to Akua Town. Also, over here, I avoided her thinking she was a trainer earlier, but she's actually the trainer that will trade you a Shroomish for a Lopunny. And if you don't have a Lopunny, then don't worry about that. We're going to get one really quickly. If we make our way all the way over here and... Also, you can grab the snowballs off the ground if you want. They're kind of a useless item, honestly. But we want to make our way all the way north up here and just grab this repel and step right here. It seems to be rustling in your bag. It seems to be Anju's pendant. And if we reveal it, then a doorway will open. If we go all the way up here, we can surf onto the water, and we can grab Piplup. I don't have any interest in Piplup right now, so I'm just going to ignore that and move on. Instead, there's something else I came into here. We surf across here, get our way through there. We can grab the item that's down here, which is an HP up. But there should also be a rare candy right here. And a magical seed up here. Both are pretty helpful. The last thing we can do is move all the way down over here. I'm going to surf to avoid that trainer. Stop this. But there are Baneri wandering around, and you can interact with them and catch them. Lopunny is actually a friendliness evolution, so all you would really have to do is catch one of these and run around with it for a short period of time, level it up, and then you would have a Lopunny to trade for the Shroomish if you want. That there is one last thing we can do here, and that's actually by changing the time, or the clock, to night. So I've already done that. All we have to do is skirt around this trainer right here. And we have to move all the way back up here. So to the right, and all the way up here, there are Snorunt wandering around. Really cute little guys. We've also been sitting on a Dawnstone, so if you catch one of those and you want a Frostlass, then make sure you grab a female. But with that, we've finally done as much as we can, and we're going to get back on track and find the rest of the Politoed, or the Poliwag actually. So with that, we're going to go ahead and head on back to Terrajuma. Here on Terrajuma, for the next Poliwag, we need to head all the way up here. And if we head up here, there he is. And with that, we only have one more Poliwag. Here we are. This is the final Poliwag. Or rather, the final one that we can collect for the moment. The last one will come later, and it's going to be a complete pain, but it's honestly amazing how fast this would have gone if we did not get sidetracked on Route 11. Unfortunately, It was better to deal with Route 11 as a whole rather than have to come back there later. Anyways, wouldn't you know it, here Dragonite is, and it looks like he's lost his letters again. Dragonite holds up 4 claws. Maybe there are 4 letters. He didn't even ask this time. Just assumed. But anyways, there's one of them. The second should be all the way over here. And then third should be all the way over here. Finally, fourth is all the way over here. I'm gonna regret that, aren't I? Yeah, I regretted it. Anyways, here we are, and we can give them all back to Dragonite. This time he'll give us a shiny stone for our troubles. And fly off on his own. Anyways, that's about all we can do here on Terrajuma, but there was one last thing that we can do. There's one last child out there that we should go save. So I'm going to meet you inside of the Amethyst Cavern. So here in the Amethyst Cavern, we can do a bit of exploring with Surf again. A rare candy right there. And if we move into this room over here, we can surf on down here to grab a Zygarde Cell. And the final missing child that we can grab currently, Alisha. I'm gonna walk up the stairs, but I fell down here. Get out of here. There's also a couple of hidden items over here, but nothing too big. So with that, we're going to go ahead and head on back to Sheerden Village for one last event Pokemon. And then we'll be on our way to the Lost Camp to see what we can do there. In Sheerden Village, we can actually surf right here and go all the way down here to find a Link Heart and a Wild Heracross. So this one is much easier to catch than the one in the Safari Zone, so I'd really recommend grabbing this one. Well, looks like I was wrong. There are 2 more stops we have to make. One is here in the Mirage Woods, which is all the way up here. Again, if we surf right down here, we can grab an item, which is the rare candy off the blue flower right there. And all the way down here is the TM for round. And we have one more stop before we can finally go to the Lost Camp, and that would be Route 2. So a lot has happened here on Route 2. The Apom have evolved into Ambipom on their own, but if we move up here, we can actually surf across the water and grab the TM for Thief. That could become extremely useful, since if you want to steal nuggets from Grimer, you don't have to rely on Covet anymore. But also, if we make our way over here, this lady over here has a Meganium, but she'll offer to give you a Chikorita should you give her a Plusle. Those Plusle can be found on Route 4 if you want one. And so with that, we'll finally, at last, make our way to the Lost Camp. Here at the Lost Camp, it's finally time for another upgrade. I see. There you are. With your donations, I've been able to complete the next planned expansion. Now the kids have something they can use for entertainment. Mostly Pangoro seems to have started helping as well. I cherish those two. I see. Do you have another moment? To you, what does the word parent mean? Mother and father? They have to be related to you to be that, I wonder. My mother died trying to protect me from others. Think about her every day. She wanted to be my mother, but the world didn't agree. It's the same for all the children here. I want these children to know what having a mother is like. Whether we're related or not, I am their mother, and I shall protect them as such. And Icy, if you ever need someone to lean on as well, don't hesitate to come to me. I shall be your mother too, if it need be. Mother of the new generation. Aw, that's sweet. If you'd be willing to donate more money, we could expand the camp once more. So again, we have to offer her, I think it's about 5 more donations. Comes out to 7,500 Pokédollars. Oh, it seems as though we have enough money to complete a slight expansion. This is great news. Oh man, are you okay? What happened out there? Oh, Mosley. It was nothing, I just had a dizzy spell. Everything's okay, see? I just need to lay down for a little while. No, everything's not okay. This is the 3rd time you've fainted this month. Used to be 1 faint every several months, but now they're becoming more frequent. Oh man, we're running out of medicine. What are we going to do? Mosley, please. Try to act like everything's going to be okay. But it's not going to be okay. Oh man, you're dying and there's nothing I can do about it. I'm sorry you had to see that. What Mosley said is true. I'm dying of an incurable disease. And I probably do not have much time left. But that's not going to stop me from doing what I believe I am destined to do. In the meantime, expansions will be put on hold until I can get myself back up. I'm sorry. Unfortunately, we can't upgrade the Lost Camp today. Or right now, rather. However, we did still gain something of value. I was coming here, I found some cool stones. And this is Matthew over here who sells the water, the fire, and the leaf stone. So he's very useful. If you want some easy AP, what you can do is you can catch Pansage, which is in the Gearin Park, and evolve those with leaf stones. The reason I say Pansage is because Pansage has the highest encounter rate out of all the elemental monkeys. So that's the one I would recommend the most. Anyways, it looks like we're just about done for this part. I know it's a bit short, but we did a lot of running around. I'm sorry I was a little bit scatterbrained while I was working on this as well. I'm gonna be honest about this because I've probably mentioned this before. I don't use a script. I usually jot down everything that I should keep track of and I try to order it, but I don't use like a straight up script. And sometimes, unfortunately, I skip things that I've written down on my personal list and whatnot, or sometimes I forget about them, and things just kind of happen. So unfortunately this wasn't as organized or as quick as I thought it was going to be, which means we're going to be dealing with Crawley in the next part. But either way, thank you for watching, hope you enjoyed, and I will catch you all on the next one. Peace.